My name's Ethan Carter. I'm 25, still crashing at my folks' place in a rundown part of town because rent around here is through the roof. Last week, something snapped inside me after another screaming match with my dad, Ray. He's always been a guy who carries the weight of the world like it's a personal insult. That night, he looked me dead in the eye and yelled, "You're the leech sucking us dry, Ethan. If you'd never been born, we'd have a real life. Not this pathetic excuse for one." My mom, Diane, didn't say a word. She just gave me this icy stare and walked off to her bedroom. I grabbed my phone, stormed out, and nobody even blinked. Now they're acting like they regret it, but I'm not so sure I care. Let me give you some context. I don't usually spill my guts like this, but what happened was so insane, I'm still reeling. I'm half venting, half wondering if anyone else has been through this with their parents. I'm hoping a few of you get why I walked away. Living at home hasn't been easy. My parents never let me forget I'm a burden. Every month, it's something new. Why the gas bill's high, why they can't save a dime, why the house is a mess. I'm not some lazy bum. I pay for my own phone, cover my groceries most of the time, and handle all their tech stuff. I set up their internet, fix their laptops, even pay for some of their apps because they can't be bothered with complicated online accounts. But the truth is, this has been brewing for years. My dad, Ray, is a bitter guy. He got laid off from a solid factory job when I was a kid and never really bounced back. Now he acts like being stuck in this crumbling house with me, and Mom is some kind of curse. Mom's no better. She's all about appearances, always fretting over what the neighbors think while ignoring the chaos at home. She's distant, like she's too good for our problems. That night, though, was something else entirely. It started out weirdly quiet. Dad was slumped in his recliner, staring at nothing, not even grunting a hello when I walked in. I figured he was pissed about the electric bill again since I got a notice about a failed payment. I planned to sort it out after dinner. We were eating some sad microwave casserole, and I was messing with my phone, keeping the sound off. Dad was glaring at me like I'd stolen his last dollar. Mom was pretending not to notice, scrolling on her phone under the table. Then Dad got up, yanked open the fridge, and just stood there, fuming. He started ranting about how there's never any food, how I eat all the good stuff, how kids these days don't respect the roof over their heads. I tried to tune him out, but he kept going, dragging up the electric bill, claiming I'm the only one who leaves lights on, which is nonsense. Mom leaves the porch light on all night. Then he lost it. He slammed the fridge door so hard it popped back open, stormed over to me, and started shouting, "You're the leech, Ethan. You're why we're drowning. If you'd never been born, we'd have a shot at something better than this miserable life." His face was red, veins popping. I looked at Mom, waiting for her to step in, to say anything. She just stared at me, cold as ice, then got up and left the room without a word. That was it for me. I was done. I shoved my chair back. It hit the floor with a thud, and yelled, "If I'm such a problem, maybe I should just leave." Dad didn't miss a beat. "Go on then. Good luck finding anyone else to deal with you." I should have walked away, but I was too mad. I pushed past him, and he grabbed my arm. I yanked free, and he stumbled into the table, knocking over a glass. He started shouting for Mom to come see what your useless son's doing, but she didn't even look back, just kept heading for her room. I stood there, shaking, then said, "Forget this." I snatched my phone and walked out. I didn't grab my wallet, my keys, nothing, just my phone, a beat-up jacket, and the jeans I was wearing. I slammed the front door hard enough to rattle the windows and waited outside, expecting someone to call me back. Nothing. No texts, no calls, no "Ethan, come back." I paced the street for 20 minutes, checking my phone. Still nothing. It hit me hard. They didn't care. I started walking, no plan, just moving. I texted a few buddies, but it was a weeknight, and nobody was around. It was chilly, and I didn't even have a hat. I ended up at a 24-hour diner a mile away, sitting in a booth, nursing a coffee, and scrolling through my phone to keep my mind off it. All I could think about was how they let me walk out like I was nobody. After years of taking their crap, fixing their tech, paying for stuff, being their punching bag, they didn't even try to stop me. I texted my old friend Jake, who I hadn't seen in a while, asking if I could crash at his place. He said sure, so I walked another 40 minutes to his apartment. My feet were killing me by the time I got there. Jake was half asleep, but let me in. He asked what was up, and I told him the short version. He didn't seem to buy it at first, like he thought I was blowing it out of proportion. I showed him my phone, no messages from my parents, just my unanswered texts to them. He nodded, handed me a blanket, and pointed to his lumpy couch. That couch was uncomfortable as hell, but it felt better than being in that house for one more second. I haven't gone back, and I'm not planning to. I'm still pissed, still processing, but I'm done being their doormat. If anyone's been through something like this, let me know. I'm not looking for pity, just want to know if this anger ever fades. It's been a few days since I walked out of my parents' house, and I'm still crashing on Jake's couch, which smells like old pizza and has springs that dig into my back. I'm Ethan Carter, 25, and I'm running on cheap coffee and pure stubbornness. After my dad, Ray, called me a leech and my mom, Diane, just stared like I was a stranger, I left with nothing but my phone. I kept waiting for a text, a call, maybe even a half-hearted sorry to show up. Nothing. My phone's been quieter than a graveyard, and it's starting to sink in. They really don't care if I'm okay or not. That's what's got me so fired up, I guess. I'm not going back, but I'm starting to mess with them in my own way, and it feels pretty damn good. Jake's been cool about letting me stay, though I can tell he's not thrilled about his living room turning into my temporary bedroom. His place is a mess, dishes piled in the sink, random socks on the floor, but it's better than being screamed at over a utility bill. I've been lying on this couch, scrolling through my phone, replaying that night in my head. Dad's red face, yelling I'm the reason they're broke. Mom walking away without a word. It's not just the words that sting, it's how easy it was for them to let me go. I've been their fix-it guy forever. Internet goes down? Ethan's got it. Laptop's acting up? Ethan will figure it out. I even put my card on some of their subscriptions because Dad refuses to deal with online nonsense. And now? Crickets. I started thinking about all the stuff I do for them. Their Wi-Fi, their streaming accounts, their phone plan. It's all tied to me. Dad's clueless about tech. He once yelled at me for an hour because he couldn't find the internet button on his phone. Moms know better. She acts like entering a password is rocket science. So, a couple days ago, I decided I'm done being their unpaid IT guy. I was sitting at Jake's, eating a stale bagel, when it hit me. Why am I still making their lives easier? I logged into the accounts I set up for them. First, I tackled the utilities, electric and gas. My card was on file because Dad said he didn't trust those websites. I deleted my payment info, switched the contact email to his, and removed myself as an authorized user. I sent Mom a text, short and sweet. Your bills are your problem now. Good luck. Then I blocked her number. I wasn't in the mood for her fake tears. Next, I went for their streaming accounts. They're obsessed with those crime dramas and cooking shows. I changed the passwords to random strings of letters and numbers, logged out every device, and made sure the reset link goes to my email. They're probably staring at a sign-in error screen right now, and I'm not gonna lie, it's satisfying. Then there's the phone plan. It's in my name because I got a discount through my old community college. I called the provider, said I wanted my line separated. The guy on the phone warned me it'd force my parents to set up a new account, complete with a credit check and activation fees. I said, fine by me. Let Dad figure out how to navigate that. I can picture him cursing at some poor store clerk already. The fallout came quick. Mom started blowing up my email since her texts weren't getting through. She sent these long rants about how I'm being selfish, how I'm tearing the family apart, how I owe them for all they've done. Like what? Screaming at me for existing. I didn't reply. Then my older brother, Nate, called. He moved out years ago and barely talks to our parents. But apparently, he's their messenger now. He said the Wi-Fi's down, the streaming's locked, and Dad's freaking out because he can't pay the electric bill online. Why you gotta make it worse, Ethan? He said. I told him straight. They wanted me gone. I'm just giving them what they asked for. He sighed, like I'm the one being unreasonable, but I could hear Mom in the background, probably feeding him lines. Here's the thing, I don't feel bad. Not even a little. For years, I was their scapegoat. Needed new clothes? There goes Ethan, costing us money again. Got the flu? Great, more doctor bills because of him. Dad's never gotten over losing his job, and somehow, that's my fault. Mom's too busy playing perfect housewife to care. Now they're seeing what life's like without me, and I'm just getting started. Jake thinks I'm pushing it too far. He caught me changing the streaming passwords and said, man, they're still your parents. Don't go burning every bridge. But why should I keep fixing their messes? They made it clear I'm nothing to them. I'm still figuring out what's next. I've got no real plan, just couch surfing and picking up shifts at a warehouse to cover my phone bill and food. But every time I think about going back, I remember Dad's voice calling me a leech and Mom's cold stare. That's enough to keep me gone. If they want to play the "we don't need Ethan" game, I'm happy to show them how wrong they are. I'm not done yet. They're about to learn just how much they leaned on me. If anyone's been through this, hit me up. I just want to know if this fire in my gut ever cools down. I'm Ethan Carter, still bunking on my buddy Jake's couch a week after I walked out of my parents' house with just my phone. My dad, Ray, called me a leech who's been bleeding them dry, and my mom, Diane, didn't even flinch, just gave me a look like I was dirt and left the room. I haven't gone back, and I'm not planning to. I've been messing with their tech stuff, Wi-Fi, streaming, bills, and it's starting to hit them hard. The silence from their end is deafening, but word's getting around town, and people are starting to talk. I'm not trying to stir up drama, but seeing their perfect family image crack, it's hard not to feel a little smug. Jake's apartment is cramped, and I'm wearing out my welcome. His couch is lumpy, and I'm living off gas station sandwiches and energy drinks. I've been picking up extra shifts at the warehouse, saving what I can for a place of my own. Every night, I check my phone, half expecting a message from my parents. Nothing. No apology. No, where are you? Just nothing. It's wild how they can act like I never existed. I've been their go-to guy for years, fixing their internet, setting up their smart TV, even paying for some of their apps because Dad thinks online payments are a scam. Now that I'm gone, they're scrambling, and I'm making sure they feel it. Last chapter, I told you how I started pulling the plug on their accounts. I deleted my card from their utility bills, changed the passwords on their streaming services, and split my phone line from their plan. It didn't take long for the chaos to start. My brother, Nate, called, saying the house is a mess, Wi-Fi's out, TV's locked, and Dad's yelling at everyone because he can't figure out the online banking. Mom's been sending me emails, whining about how I'm hurting the family and abandoning my responsibilities. Responsibilities? Like being their punching bag? I didn't respond. I'm done playing their game. Now the neighborhood's starting to notice. Mom's always been big on keeping up appearances. She's in every local Facebook group, posting about bake sales or community cleanups. But since I left, their house is looking rough. The lawn's overgrown, trash bags are piling up by the curb, and the porch light's been off for days. I got a message on Facebook from Mrs. Larson, this nosy old lady who lives across the street. She hasn't talked to me since I was a kid, but she wrote, "Ethan, is everything okay at your parents' place? The house looks neglected, and Diane hasn't been to book club." I kept it short. They kicked me out. Not my problem anymore. She didn't reply, but I bet she's spreading the word. Then I got tagged in a post in the community group. Some guy I don't even know asked if anyone's seen Diane at the grocery store lately, saying she looked off last time he saw her. A few people chimed in, wondering if Ray's okay since he was yelling at a delivery guy in their driveway. I didn't comment, but I read every word. It's weirdly satisfying, watching their facade crumble. Mom's always cared more about what people think than what's going on at home. Now she's got to explain why her house looks like a dump and her son's gone. The best part? I got a call from Dad yesterday. I let it go to voicemail, expecting another rant. He sounded pissed, but it was all about how I'm screwing them over. He went on about the internet being down, the bills piling up, and how I'm making them look bad. Not one word about what he said to me, not a hint of sorry. Just him, mad that I'm not there to clean up his mess. I saved the message. Might play it back someday when I need a reminder of why I'm done. Jake's starting to get antsy. He caught me grinning while I was reading those Facebook comments and said, "Dude, you're playing with fire. They're your family. You sure you want to keep this up?" I get where he's coming from, but he doesn't know what it's like to be blamed for everything. Every broken dream, every unpaid bill, somehow, it's always been my fault. Dad's never gotten over losing his job, and Mom's too busy playing martyr to care. I spent years fixing their problems, and the second I stand up for myself, I'm the bad guy? No, I'm not buying it. My brother, Nate, texted again, begging me to just fix the Wi-Fi, so Mom stops crying. He says Dad's been storming around, slamming doors, and Mom's barely eating. I told him, they wanted me out. They got it. He called me stubborn, but I don't care. I'm not their servant. The only thing bugging me is how everyone else is acting like I'm the one who should feel bad. Random people from town keep messaging, asking if I can help Diane with her email or talk to Ray about the bills. Where were they when I was getting screamed at every night? Nobody cared then. I'm not done messing with them. They relied on me for everything, and now they're learning what life's like without their leech. I'm thinking about canceling the last few subscriptions tied to my account, some cloud storage they use for old photos and a music app Mom loves. Let them figure out how to sign up for their own. I know it sounds petty, but after years of taking their crap, it feels like justice. I'm still angry, still wired, but I'm not going back. If anyone's been through this, tell me, does this rage ever settle? I'm not looking for a pep talk, just the truth. I'm Ethan Carter, 25, and it's been almost 2 weeks since I walked out of my parents' house after my dad, Ray, called me a leech who ruined their lives. My mom, Diane, didn't defend me, she just gave me a cold stare and left the room. I'm still crashing on my friend Jake's couch, living off cheap takeout and warehouse shifts. I've been cutting my parents off from all the tech stuff I used to manage, Wi-Fi, streaming, bills, and it's turning their world upside down. The neighborhood's buzzing with gossip, and now my parents are starting to feel the heat. I'm not gonna lie, watching them scramble feels good, but there's this nagging feeling in my gut I can't shake. Jake's place is starting to feel like a cage. His couch is killing my back, and I'm tired of tripping over his dirty laundry. I've been saving every penny I can, hoping to get my own spots soon. My phone's still quiet, no calls or texts from my parents, just a few whining emails from Mom about how I'm destroying the family. Destroying the family? That's rich, coming from the woman who let her husband scream I shouldn't have been born. I've been replaying that night over and over, and it's not just anger anymore, it's this heavy, hollow feeling. They didn't just push me out, they acted like I was never theirs. Last chapter, I told you how the neighborhood started noticing the mess at my parents' place, trash piling up, lawn overgrown, lights off. People are talking, and Mom's perfect image is cracking. I've been messing with their accounts, pulling my card off their bills, changing streaming passwords, even splitting my phone line from their plan. It's hitting them hard. My brother, Nate, keeps texting, saying Dad's losing it and Mom's a wreck. He wants me to fix their Wi-Fi and stop making it worse. I told him they wanted me gone, so I'm gone for good. He thinks I'm being a jerk, but I'm done playing their game. Now things are getting messy, eh? I got a call from my cousin, Tara, who's close to Mom. She said the house is falling apart. Dad tried to pay the electric bill in person, but got into a shouting match with the clerk because he didn't have the account number. Mom's been skipping her church group, which is a big deal for her. She's usually there every Sunday, smiling like everything's perfect. Tara said Mom's been crying in the car, not eating, just staring out the window. Can't you just help them, Ethan? Tara asked. They're struggling. I told her. They made their choice. They don't get to lean on me now. She got quiet, then hung up. I could tell she didn't get it. The neighborhood chatter's getting louder. I checked the local Facebook group, and someone posted a picture of my parents' house with a caption like, "Anyone know what's going on at the Carters? Looks abandoned." People are piling on, saying they saw Ray yelling at a utility worker or Diane looking lost at the gas station. Mom's church friends are messaging me, asking if I can check on her or help with her phone. One lady even sent me a long note about how family forgives. Where were these people when I was getting screamed at every night? Nobody cared when I was the one taking the hits. I stepped up my revenge, if you can call it that. I canceled the last subscriptions tied to my account, a cloud storage service they use for old family photos and a music app Mom listens to while she cleans. I changed the passwords, logged them out, and made sure they can't reset anything without my email. I also found an old online order Dad placed using my account for some tools he wanted. I canceled it, called customer service, and said my account was used without permission. They refunded the money to my card, not his. It's not about the cash, it's about making them feel the void I left. Dad finally left another voicemail. I listened to it at 2 a.m., sitting on Jake's balcony with a warm soda. He was furious, ranting about how I'm ruining their lives and making them a laughingstock. He said the neighbors are talking, the bills are late, and Mom's falling apart because of me. Not one word about his own words. No hint of regret for calling me a leech. Just him blaming me for their mess. I deleted the message. I'm not here to fix their problems anymore. Jake's getting more vocal about me chilling out. He saw me canceling those subscriptions and said, "Man, you're going too far. They're not going to apologize if you keep twisting the knife." Maybe he's right, but I don't care. I spent years being their scapegoat. Every unpaid bill, every bad day, it was Ethan's fault. Now they're seeing what it's like without me, and I'm not stopping. My brother, Nate, sent another text, saying Mom's talking about selling some furniture to cover bills. He's begging me to just talk to them. I didn't reply. They don't get to cry now and expect me to come running. The only thing that's bugging me is this weird guilt creeping in. Not for them, exactly, but for how final this feels. I keep thinking about Mom's face, how she used to smile when I fixed her phone, or Dad laughing at some dumb joke I told years ago. Those moments are gone, and I'm the one burning the bridge. But then I remember that night, Dad's voice, Mom's silence, and the guilt fades. I'm not their kid anymore. I'm just Ethan, trying to figure out what's next. If anyone's been through this, let me know. Does this mix of anger and emptiness ever balance out? I'm not looking for a fairy tale, just some real talk. I'm Ethan Carter, 25, and it's been 3 weeks since I stormed out of my parents' house after my dad, Ray, called me a leech who wrecked their lives. My mom, Diane, didn't say a word, just stared at me like I was nothing and walked away. I'm still at Jake's, though his couch is practically screaming for me to leave. I've been yanking the tech lifelines I set up for my parents. Wi-Fi, streaming, bills, and their world's crumbling. The neighborhood's gossiping, and now I'm starting to see the real cost of my actions. Last night, something happened that shook me, and I'm not sure what to make of it yet. I've been scraping by, working extra shifts at the warehouse, and saving for a cheap apartment. Jake's patience is wearing thin. He keeps dropping hints about needing his space. My phone's still mostly silent, except for occasional emails from Mom, whining about how I've abandoned them. Abandoned? After years of being their scapegoat, fixing their tech, and taking their blame for every dime they couldn't save, I've kept up my quiet revenge. Canceled their music app, locked them out of cloud storage, even got a refund for Dad's tool order. The neighborhood's noticed their house falling apart. Trash everywhere. Lights off. Mom skipping church. People keep messaging me, asking if I can help Diane or talk to Ray. I've ignored them all. Yesterday, things took a turn. I was walking home from work, arms full of grocery bags, when I saw Dad's beat-up truck parked outside Jake's building. My stomach dropped. I figured he was there to yell, maybe drag me back to fix their mess. I walked closer, and there he was, sitting in the driver's seat, staring straight ahead. He looked rough, unshaven, eyes red, like he hadn't slept in days. I stood there, debating whether to keep walking, but he saw me and got out. He didn't charge at me like I expected. He just stood by the truck, hands in his pockets, and said, "Ethan, we need to talk." I wasn't having it. I told him, "You said your piece. I'm done." He didn't yell back, which threw me off. Instead, he said, "I messed up. I shouldn't have said what I did." His voice cracked, and for a second, I thought he might cry. Ray Carter, the guy who'd rather break a table than admit he's wrong, looked like he was breaking. He said Mom's been a wreck, barely leaving the house, and he's been trying to fix things but can't. "We need you, Ethan. I know I screwed this up, but please." I stood there, groceries digging into my arms, feeling this mix of rage and something else, pity, maybe. I told him, "You don't get to call me a leech and then beg for help. You made your bed." He didn't argue. He just nodded, got back in his truck, and drove off. I watched the taillights disappear, and for the first time, I felt a crack in my armor. I've been so angry, so focused on making them pay that I didn't expect him to show up like that. Jake was home when I got in, and I told him what happened. He said, "Sounds like he's hurting, man. Maybe it's time to ease up." I didn't want to hear it, but it stuck with me. My brother, Nate, texted later, saying Dad's been quiet, not yelling, just sitting in the garage for hours. Mom's been calling her church friends, asking for prayers. Nate begged me to do something before it gets worse. I'm still pissed, don't get me wrong. But seeing Dad like that, hearing his voice break, it's messing with me. I keep thinking about all the years I was their fix-it guy, taking their crap because I thought that's what family does. Now I'm wondering if I'm becoming the guy who can't let go. I haven't undone any of my changes, no Wi-Fi, no streaming, no bills in my name. But I'm starting to question how far I want to take this. If anyone's been through this, tell me, does it ever stop feeling like a war? I'm not ready to forgive, but I'm not sure I want to keep fighting either. I'm Ethan Carter, and it's been a month since I left my parents' house after my dad, Ray, called me a leech who ruined their lives. My mom, Diane, didn't defend me, she just walked away. I've been crashing at Jake's, but I finally got my own place, a tiny studio with peeling paint and a leaky faucet. But it's mine. I've been cutting my parents off from the tech I used to manage, and their lives are a mess. After Dad showed up last week, looking broken and asking for help, I've been wrestling with what to do next. I'm not ready to forgive, but I'm tired of carrying this anger. Something's gotta give. My new apartment's nothing fancy, just a bed, a second-hand couch, and a microwave that sounds like it's launching a rocket. I'm working double shifts at the warehouse, eating instant noodles, and saving every extra dollar. Jake was relieved when I moved out. His couch was starting to hate me. My phone's been quiet. No new messages from Mom or Dad. Just a text from my brother, Nate, saying the house is like a ghost town. I've kept their accounts locked. Wi-Fi's down, streaming's gone. Bills are their problem. The neighborhood's still talking. Trash piling up. Mom missing church. Dad snapping at anyone who asks if he's okay. I've been ignoring messages from their friends, begging me to help out. Dad's visit last week keeps replaying in my head. Him standing by his truck, voice cracking, saying he messed up. I've never seen him like that. Ray Carter doesn't do apologies. It threw me off, made me question if I'm pushing this too far. I talked to Jake about it over beers at his place. He said, maybe they're learning, man. Doesn't mean you gotta run back, but maybe you can meet them halfway. I didn't like it, but he's got a point. I've been so focused on making them suffer, I haven't thought about what I want long term. Do I want them out of my life forever? Or just to know they can't treat me like garbage? I decided to take a small step. I didn't unlock their accounts, but I emailed Mom a list of their utility logins and passwords, stuff I set up years ago. I kept it short. Here's your account info. Figure it out. I'm not coming back. No reply, but Nate texted later, saying Mom was relieved and Dad's been trying to pay the bills online. He's struggling, but he's trying. Nate said Mom's been going to church again, talking about healing. I don't know if I buy it, but it's something. I'm not ready to talk to them, and I'm definitely not fixing their Wi-Fi, but giving them the logins felt like loosening a knot in my chest. The neighborhood gossip's still going. I saw a post in the community group about Mom crying at a church event, saying she lost her son. People are eating it up, painting her as this tragic figure. It pisses me off. She didn't lose me. She let me go. But I'm trying not to let it eat at me. I've got my own life now, work, my apartment, even a few new friends from the warehouse. I'm starting to feel like Ethan, not just Ray and Diane screw-up kid. But the anger's still there, mixed with this weird sadness. I keep thinking about Mom's smile when I'd fix her phone, or Dad teaching me to ride a bike before he got so bitter. Those memories hurt more than the fights. I'm not sure what's next. I'm keeping my distance, but I'm not planning any more revenge. I canceled their accounts to make a point, and I think they're getting it. Jake says I should focus on myself, and I'm trying. I'm tired of being the guy who's always mad. If anyone's been through this, let me know. Does it ever feel like you've moved on without losing yourself? I'm not looking for a happy ending, just a way to keep going without this weight. I'm Ethan Carter, 25, and it's been 6 weeks since I walked out of my parents' house after my dad, Ray, called me a leech who destroyed their lives. My mom, Diane, didn't stand up for me, she just left the room. I've got my own place now, a small studio that's mine alone. I cut my parents off from the tech I used to run for them, and it shook their world. After Dad's broken apology and my small step of sending them their account info, things are shifting. I'm not ready to forgive, but I'm finding a way to let go, piece by piece. This is my story's end, or maybe its real beginning. My studio's starting to feel like home. I've got a cheap rug, a lamp that doesn't flicker, and a fridge with actual food, not just takeout containers. Work at the warehouse is steady, and I've been hanging out with a couple guys from the crew. They don't know my whole deal, and I like it that way. I'm just Ethan to them. My parents haven't reached out since I sent that email with their account info. Nate says they're managing, sort of. Dad's figured out the electric bill, and Mom's back at church, posting about God's grace on Facebook. The neighborhood's gossip has died down, and their house doesn't look like a junkyard anymore. They're surviving without me, and I'm okay with that. I've been thinking a lot about what happened. Dad's words, calling me a leech, saying I shouldn't have been born, still sting, but they don't burn like they did. Mom's silence hurt worse, like she erased me. I spent years being their fix-it guy, taking their blame for every problem, thinking that's what sons do. Walking away was the hardest thing I've ever done, but it showed me I don't need their approval to exist. Cutting off their Wi-Fi, streaming, and bills was my way of saying, you don't get to use me and throw me away. It felt good, but it also left me empty. Revenge doesn't fix what's broken. A week ago, I got a letter from Mom. Not an email, an actual handwritten letter, mailed to my apartment. I almost tore it up, but I opened it. She said she's sorry, not just for that night, but for all the years she let Dad's anger rule the house. She said she was too scared to stand up to him, too focused on looking perfect to see how it hurt me. She didn't ask me to come back, just said she hopes I'm okay and that she's trying to be better. I read it 3 times, then put it in a drawer. I'm not ready to call her, but I didn't throw it away. That's something. Dad hasn't reached out again, and I don't expect him to. Nate says he's quieter now, spending hours fixing up the garage, maybe trying to fill the space I left. I don't know if he'll ever say sorry again, and I'm not holding my breath. But I'm starting to see them as people, not just the parents who failed me. Ray's a guy who let a lost job break him. Diane's a woman who hid behind a fake smile. They're flawed, like me. I'm not excusing what they did, but understanding it helps me let go. I'm focusing on my life now. I signed up for a night class at the community college, basic coding, something I've always wanted to try. I'm not great at it yet, but it's mine. Jake and I still grab beers sometimes, and he's proud I'm not burning bridges anymore. The anger's still there, but it's quieter, like a radio turned low. I don't check the neighborhood Facebook group anymore. I don't care what people say about the Carters. I'm building something new, and it feels good. If you've been through this, you know it's not a straight line. Some days, I'm fine. Others, I'm back in that kitchen, hearing Dad's voice. But I'm moving forward. I don't need my parents to say they're proud of me. I'm proud of myself. To anyone carrying this kind of weight, I'll say this. You don't have to forgive, but you don't have to hate forever either. Find your own space, your own fight. For me, it's this little apartment, this new start, and the knowledge that I'm enough. That's my ending, and I'm sticking to it.